Good morning, everybody. It's me, Teri Hunter. It's Sunday morning, a wee bit before 11. I wanted to test out and make sure the microphone was working. So I came on early. Welcome to Sunday morning. Messages with the angels or from the angels with me, Teri Hunter. Good morning, small wildflowers. I wanted to just real quickly say I had such a fun time on our get-together on Wednesday. We played with a new deck called, I think it's Angels and Ancestors by Kyle Gray. And we're going to do that again on this coming Wednesday. Welcome, Danielle. Hi, Imagine. I'm going to say that. I think that I'm saying that properly. Beach Vibes. Welcome, Stacy, Nikki. Good morning, good evening, good day, good afternoon, good life. Here we are. Okay. So this week, I believe on May 7th here in the United States, we have a new moon in Scorpio. And this moon is the most positive influence we've had since mid-March. And from what I read, it's going to usher in compassion and understanding. Jenna says the Scorpio new moon is going to be crazy. Why do you think that, Jenna? Beach Vibes, I think we're all working on getting a better life right now. This is what it feels like that this time in history that we're recreating is an opportunity to truly step into a more authentic frequency and vibration to our own selves. So anyway, Beach Vibes, Scorpio rising. Okay, so definitely this is a new moon. It would be a great time to set intentions for that moon cycle. Welcome, Egocentric Reality. Nice to see you here. I want to make sure I say hi to everybody. Okay, I think I did. I don't know. I don't really have much to talk about before, so I think I'm going to just jump right into our readings. As most of you who are familiar with me, I go backwards. I start at Pisces and I work my way towards Aries. We go by rising sign, moon, sun, and stelliums. Stelliums is 4 or more planets in one sign. And I say that because I believe when you have that many planets in one place, it has a strong influence. Good morning, Les. Yes, we're going to have a Venus retrograde this month, and Saturn is going to go retrograde as well. So, this ride isn't over by a long shot, but I think if we just kind of take it one day at a time, at least that's what I've been doing. And I've been very conscious of trying to make sure I eat foods that fuel my body. And I say it this way because I've noticed that it's not just my body, it's my attitude. When I start to give into my potato chips too much, or I don't know, I'm a salty person, that tends to make me, I don't know, I think it bloats my brain really. Salt gives you, swells you up. Anyway, good morning, Stephen. Great to see you. Okay. So I said I was going to jump into the readings, and here we go. So we're starting with Pisces. Pisces rising, Pisces sun, Pisces moon, and Pisces stellium. And basically what this is, for those of you that are new, I think Beach Vibes who was the other person? Where is she? Well, Egocentric, I think you're new. And then Imagine, I think you're new. And Danielle. Okay. So what I do is I use 2 decks. First is an angel deck, and then I marry it with this, I think it's called Legend of Avalon. And we get a message for traversing the following week's transits. Whoops. Okay. Give it a good shuffle. Okay. Our first angel for Pisces is Fiona. The second is Merlina. The third is Caressa. And the final is Celeste. Okay. Yes, the nodes are changing signs, but we're also really at that 29th degree as we're leaving the Capricorn Cancer axis and moving into Gemini Sagittarius. I think it's kind of cool to tap into what intuitive messages do the nodes want to tell us as we move out of this phase, because there's so much that is in some level closing or being revisited. Pluto went retrograde. We talked about Venus and Saturn going retrograde this month. This is an opportunity to reflect on what those planets have to offer us, both in opportunities as well as obstacles. Okay, so for Pisces, Fiona is being joined by the Focus card. Merlina is being joined by the Novice. Caressa is being joined by the Love card. And the Serpent is joining Celeste. Welcome, CJD. Good to see you. Hi, Prisley, 79. We are going, just so you know, we go backwards. We start at Pisces and work our way towards Aries. So we're just getting going this morning. Okay, Pisces. Fiona says, now that you've asked God and the angels for help, be open to receiving their guidance. And then we have the Focus card. And I want to offer this to you, Pisces. Notice how Fiona, around her head, she's got this light that's glowing. And it's not white. It's actually like a light blue color. Okay? And I really think this has something to do with the focus right now, in the respect that if I marry the white light of God and God's love and the angels, the kind of meditative light that we breathe in, and then the blue of the chakra of my throat, what am I saying, right? So Fiona's saying, be open to receiving guidance. This is where you're not micromanaging what's going on. You're rather you're looking to be aware of how spirit is going to send you a message. And that's also about noticing where your focus is, okay? Because this is a heightened time of worry, of fear, and this is what this new moon has to offer us as well on May 7th, I believe it's May 7th this week, is to look at Scorpio. Scorpio is ruled by Pluto. Pluto is retrograde right now. What is it offering me? What is the deeper layers? What more can I reconcile? You know, to me, healing is a reconciliation of an experience. It's where I've taken it and I've been able to extract tools or understanding from it. It's not just something that's like stabbed me in the heart and left me to bleed to death. Because there's a new beginning for Pisces. There is an unstable new beginning. And Merlina says that you're confused and indecisive because you don't have enough information. Well, the world is changing right now. Everything is being recalibrated. We've been talking about that obviously for a while now. And because of that, I feel like this is where you go back to Fiona and you really look at what is most authentic to you, and then be open to God and the angels bringing that in to your experience, okay? Because in the angels' advice is Caressa and the Love card. And this is in direct relation to the Novice and Merlina. So I want to say it this way. Caressa is about the end of a life cycle, the beginning of a new life cycle. What is the moon? The moon is a new life cycle based on love. And this may be unusual for you, Pisces. It may be an unstable new beginning and you may not have enough experience to base your, and I want to say it this way. It's not about your actions. It's about your attitude. It's about your focus. Your focus on what you really love. Because in the final position is Celeste, which represents a new home or a new place of employment. And then we have the Serpent card. Now, most of the time, Celeste represents a shift in the way I'm thinking, which I will honor in this moment. But I also think there's the potential that Pisces will, maybe there's new jobs that you've been looking for. Maybe there's something in this new recalibration of how we are operating as humans on a planet that you are able to step into something that's more authentic towards what you want. And you really don't know how you're going to get there, but that's part of what God and the angels are doing, is bringing you people, places, resources, and experiences that will support that. Okay, so that's what I have for Pisces. And I will kind of want to I noticed Stephen says tomorrow is Star Wars Day. May the fourth be with you. That's very, very sweet and funny and cheeky and cute. But it's also really poignant because Luke Skywalker had to go into the cave of fear, and he battled what he thought was Darth Vader. And it was a heated battle to the death. And Luke lobs off Darth Vader's head, and as it falls down to the ground, he sees his own face. And in that moment, the realization that the only thing that is really truly threatening to us is our own fears. So I feel like that may be a little bit something poignant for Pisces as well, is as you turn over your fears and focus in on what you want, even though you're not used to doing this, it's an unstable new beginning. And the angels are saying, move towards what you love. This is not love outside yourself. And then here we go. Opportunity meets preparedness. And preparedness is an attitude, a being energy, a dynamic. Okay, so let's go on to Aquarius. Thank you, CJD. You can thank the angels. They just tell me what to say. I don't know if it's of me. I feel like they've been talking through me for a long time. I'm not so sure I'm the brightest bulb, but they are. All right, Shelly. Hey, welcome. Good morning. I love the, it's taken me a long time, honestly, to catch up with all the different Star Wars movies, but I love that spiritual dynamic that runs through them. And I'll never forget in 1977, thank you very much. Yes, I'm a seasoned professional on the planet. And seeing that first Star Wars movie in a drive-in, I was just blown away. I really was, because there was so much symbolism and so much meaning underneath everything. Okay, on to Aquarius. Jenna, that's interesting that you would say that Darth Vader is a Pisces. I never thought about what his astrological sign would be. I would be interested to see why you think that. Hi, Susie. Welcome. I really think that's an interesting thing to think about. And, because I will say this about Pisces in some respects. I've known some Pisces that were very intuitive and very loving. And then there's the kind of the dark side of Pisces sometimes, when the intuition is, when they can get a little, I know one in particular who's had some life experiences that has dinged them so many times that they can't seem to move past it. And it's created a new base. How do you guys figure out how the Star Wars characters are what sign? I would love to hear that. That's so fascinating to me. Okay. And while they write that in the chat, I'm going to go on to Aquarius. Here we go. Okay. Aquarius, our first angel is Archangel Raphael. The second is Athena. The third is Isaiah. And the final is Seraphina. All righty. All right, Aquarius, rising sun, moon, and stelliums. The hawk is joining Archangel Raphael. The partnership card is joining Athena. Isaiah is being joined by the birth and the rebirth card. And Seraphina is being joined by the water fairy. Okay. I'll have to look at that in a second. All right, here we go. Aquarius. In the foundational position, we have the hawk and we have Archangel Raphael, which is the angel of physical healing. And I want to offer it to you this way. The world is experiencing a very challenging dynamic right now that involves the physical body. And I believe that Aquarius is being offered healing protection of the physical body, and the hawk is telling you there are signs and omens of this. Usually I will say that the hawk represents rising above my fears, but in this particular case, I really believe that there are signs and omens that Aquarius gets to be mindful of, because Athena is saying it's safe for you to lovingly assert yourself. And there's the partnership card. And I don't think this is partnership outside myself. I actually thought that this was partnership between my heart and my head for my Aquariuses, because Athena is saying to assert yourself, to think I am strong. And here we have in the angel's advice, interestingly enough, Isaiah is saying it's time to give birth to new situations. And there's the birth and the rebirth card. Feels very powerful for Aquarius, because it really feels like it's about grabbing on to a reconciliation. That's what I think healing is, even in the physical body. And I want to say it this way, because we have Seraphina in the final position. A happy change is coming to my family. And there's the water fairy, which is about feelings and intuitions. I feel like this is about a reconciliation. I feel like those feelings and intuitions or feelings and emotions is really more about, for Aquarius, some sort of reconciliation between my mind and my heart, what I believe and what I have yet to experience, or what I'm starting to experience. I want to say that this feels very much like it has to do with your physical body. And I don't know that it has anything to do with the current situation. Let's say you have experienced chronic back pain. How's that? We'll go chronic back pain. I'm trying to think of some sort of example. I feel like there is something deeper going on for Aquarius. And as you look to the signs and the omens that Spirit is giving you, say, for instance, you hear about a pillow, and that pillow is supposed to help you with your back. Maybe the first time it doesn't hit your register. Maybe the second time it doesn't hit your register. But then all of a sudden you're seeing it 3 and 4 times. Pay attention to the signs and the omens that Spirit may be bringing towards you or for you, so that you can come into partnership knowing that your body knows what to do in order to course correct whatever imbalance it is experiencing. Because I really believe that it's time to give birth to new ideas and new situations, and that there is a rebirth in the physical. And I don't think this is about children. While I see Seraphina talks about a baby, or has a baby in her arms, I don't think so. I think this is about you trusting an inner knowing. So I want to offer this as an example. I used to smoke cigarettes, and when I was turning 50, I really wanted to be quitting by the time I turned 50. By the time I was 55, I think my body had already started naturally course correcting, because I felt the denseness of my chest. And I started to become more aware about fueling versus feeding. And then I started to be nudged by Spirit to put certain supplements into my system. And now at 60 years old, I feel like my lungs are clearer than they were in my whole 50s. So it's not like I'm perfect, but I've been paying attention to the signs and the omens about my physical body and the small little nudgings. It's not about big jumpings off a cliff and, changing habits in a resistant energy. It's more about working in cooperation with it. And that's why I think that you're going to feel better. I really think this is clearly all about your physical body beyond the current situation. Okay, going on to Capricorn. Okay, I'm a little peek in the chat a little bit here for a second. What's going on? Hi, Barbara. So great to see you today. I think that Darth Vader's story is quite an interesting one. I really find him to be a fascinating character. What'd Small say? Okay, your ears are here. You're funny. Okay, on to our Capricorns. Capricorn rising, sun, moon, and stelliums. Oh, I don't know what's going on now. Jenna A., I totally think that exactly. It's the hurt that led him to the dark side. And he was always, the thing I thought was so interesting about him was that you could constantly see the push pull. It was never, and I don't know. It was weird because the guy's behind a mask, right? The whole thing, like when you first hear the story, you never see his face. So I just thought it was super interesting, very interesting character. And I thought when they were in the Harrison Ford's character's aircraft is, and they had the blindfold on and they were learning how to feel beyond sight. So crazy powerful. Okay, on to Capricorn. Capricorn, rising sun, moon, and stelliums. And if you've got a Capricorn stellium, your life has completely changed in the last 2 years. And I have to say that because I can't imagine having a stellium going through these transits and not complete transformation. Oh yeah, Small Wildflowers did a pretty wild flesh wound to herself there off a curb. I think she was skateboarding, whoosh, doing it off the lip. Hey Tebow, welcome. Good to see you. Angelique, welcome. That's very cool, Susie. Mine came from it felt like an act of slow suicide. So I kept saying, do you really want to die? Do you really want to die? And I kept saying, no, I think I'm transforming past that. Welcome, Tom Good. So good to see you. All right, here we go. Capricorn. Our first angel is Archangel Michael. The second is Shanti. The third is Ariel. And the final is Bridget. All right, here we go. Hi, Lotus. Welcome to see you. Welcome to see you. Who said that? Sometimes I watch the playback and words come out of my mouth and I'm like, My brain is clearly in 2 places at once. Hi, Grace. Welcome. So good to see you. We're on our way to Scorpio. We got a ways to go. I go backwards. I start at Pisces and work my way towards Aries. Hi, Eliana. Good afternoon. How's our big tree, Tebow? Okay. Archangel Michael is being joined by the restriction card. Shanti is being joined by the letting go card. Ariel's being joined by Merlin, and Bridget's being joined by perception. Very interesting. Okay. Hello. That's my Mrs. Doubtfire. All right. Archangel Michael is about protection, guys. On this particular face of this card, he'll talk about having the courage to move towards my divine life's purpose, towards what is authentic to me. And then there's the restriction card. I don't think this is restriction in the stopping as much as I think it's more, and I'm going to say it because I'm going to go to the final position. Bridget is a card of caution, asking you to look deeper into your perceptions. And I want to say this is sort of like, okay, so the world is in a big old timeout right now. And while we're sort of getting used to it, I feel like Capricorn, this is really an opportunity for you to be courageous, Archangel Michael, in looking at where you have been restricting yourself. This is not about the lockdown. This is about where fear has held you and gripped you. And now it's time to recognize that it could be potentially perceptions. You know, with Capricorn and Saturn ruling the rules, going by the book, doing it right, being, crossing all your T's and dotting all your I's. And maybe there's been such a momentum of that throughout the years that it's really an opportunity. And I'm going to say this, and I never do, about letting go. That way peace can come in. Now, I am a person, I'm an Aries rising, Taurus moon, Libra sun. I'm going to ram you a little, bully you, and want you to like me all at the same time. I also can't let go of anything. But what I can do is transform this card into the song Let It Go from Frozen. It's funny how some distance makes everything look small, and the fears that once controlled me can't get to me at all. It's time to see what I can do to test the limits, to break through. No right, no wrong, no rules for me. I'm free. peace. Capricorn, this is your opportunity. And the angels say it comes because you connect with spirit, and spirit gives you, through your spiritual experiences, is what Ariel is offering you, is Merlin, balance. This is about justice. This is a karmic card for me. And this is your opportunity, or not your opportunity, but this is where your opportunity fosters peace. So for my Capricorns, we have a new moon in Scorpio. Scorpio in this new moon, and for the first time in weeks, 6 weeks at least, is offering us a softer energy in looking into our own perceptions about how we are. It's our perceptions that create our happiness. It's our perceptions that are the platform with which our actions take place. It's our being energy. So I feel like Archangel Michael is asking Capricorn, rising sun, moon, and stelliums to please look at where you're restricting yourself. And in many ways, break the box. Because, balance through pressure. That's what Merlin offers. And it's a connection through spirit. So if you have fears around those perceptions, or you're seeing things that you believed in for a long time starting to change and transform, and people that you thought were one way and then they're another, and there may be a certain sadness attached to that, that belief, but allow for its transmutation and for your own perceptions to evolve with it. Okay, let's go on to our Sagittariuses. All right. Susie would have or still can make a good book editor. Let's all talk in the present. That's what this whole timeout from the universe is offering us, is to really reflect on where we've held ourselves back, and then to allow the rewriting to begin. Okay. Hi, Manuela. Good to see you. Hi, Faith. Oh, I missed somebody I wanted to say hello to who is a newbie. Where is it? Hi, Andrea. Good to see you. Andrea S. And there was somebody else, I think. Hi, Nija. I don't know if I can say that right. Nijia. I think that's. And Grace. Good to see you. I said hi to Ileana. I said hi to Lotus. Okay. I think I got everybody. I wish I was so lucky as to hear Spirit say something to me about quitting smoking. I really didn't want to quit smoking, but you got to do what you got to do if you want to live a happy, long life. Okay. Tamika, welcome. Good to see you. Oh, I wish I had my garden again. I used to have a garden. And unfortunately, when I got a patio and I tried to just be a planter type garden, I kill everything. So, okay. Beach vibes. How I actually ended up quitting, how it worked for me was I kept asking myself if smoking was really saying that I loved myself. And the more I stood in my light in doing my work and in doing the work we do on Sundays and now on Wednesdays, it became more important to me to be an instrument of love, self-love. So I just, I got to say, it took me freaking 6 years before I actually pulled the trigger, but I managed to pull it on January 5th, 2009. And I was going to turn 50 on October 17th, 2009. So I made it. And one of the things I did is I did keep track every day when I was good. So, and I did use the patch for a while, but I didn't have enough skin. Man, I got to tell you, that patch was awful. Ugh. Okay, enough of that as I cough. All right, on to Sagittarius. And I don't know what's going to happen with the nodes. You're having the South Node go into your sign. So I wonder, I've got to hear about that. Okay. Sometimes beach vibes, it's hard to find that happy place, that gives ourselves permission. So sometimes the best time to to implement a self-love act is during a challenging time. It kind of sends a ripple effect through all the rest of the parts of your life. Okay, Sagittarius, our first angel is Adriana. The second is Serafina. The third is Grace and Antoinette. And the final is Francesca. Okay. Joining Adriana is the focus card. Joining Serafina is the joy card. Joining Grace and Antoinette is the disruption card. And joining Francesca is the raven. Okay, Sagittarius. Rising sun, moon, and stelliums. As I'm pulling the cards, I'm thinking to myself, the South Node is moving into Sagittarius. The South Node in its high vibration is very spiritual. It's a very spiritual energy. And here we have Adriana leading you towards the answers to your prayers, through your dreams, through your intuitions, through your thoughts, through those subtle nudges. And look at the kids. The kids are truly in awe of her. And I want to say this because I feel like they're so focused in on her that they don't realize their surroundings or whatever. You know, look how steep the step is. We can see that there's this cloud and almost looks like a mountain over here on this side. And I feel like the focus on spirit will help Sagittarius traverse whatever challenges there are around them, because here's the focus card. So this is really, really hitting me. FYI, Miss Rissa, I go backwards, so Scorpio's next. So for Sagittarius, rising sun, moon, and stelliums, this focus card is really on the idea that you are being led right now. Well, let's talk about Sagittarius representing the 9th house. It does represent foreign travel, higher learning, but it represents a connection to the angelic realm. It represents higher ideals. And when I say higher, I don't mean in the respect of lower, it's just broader. You know, it's just outside the box thoughts, because in the opportunity, the obstacle is Serafina saying a happy change is coming to your family. And there's the joy card. And I want to say this for Sagittarius. I honestly believe it comes through disruption, because here's what the angels are saying: have compassion for the disruption. Everybody's life is in disruption. I can't think of anybody, no matter what your situation is, that you're not feeling the ripple effect of this change, of this recalibration of how we operate on this planet. So I feel like your opportunity is to stay in joy. And this is what I want to say. We can't walk around like bubble heads. Oh, I'm so joyful. I'm so joyful. But what we can do is purport activities and dynamics that support what feels good to us. So here we have Adriana. How do I feel joy? By focusing in on the idea that spirit is watching over me and leading me towards the answers to my prayers. Because Francesca is saying, what do you visualize right now? Focus on that and it will come about. It's a timing issue, Sagittarius. That's what the raven is about. It's all about timing. So let's say, you have all these big plans or all these ideas, and here we have this situation where everything goes whoosh. It doesn't mean it's not going to happen. What it means is that there's the potential that spirit is moving things around, creating dynamics that we're not even aware of, because the dynamic is maybe there are other souls that are becoming awake to their deepest passions, which will then become resources for Sagittarius down the line. So as you focus in on, ooh, this is awesome. What makes me feel good? What makes me feel happy? So I'm going to give you a quick example. I have an idea for a video that I want to do, and I've engaged all these people to join me in this endeavor. And as I started to get traction, right, and I started to really move forward on it, the world stopped. And it stopped. And I've thought to myself, is everything going to fall apart? I don't know if it'll fall apart, but what I do know is the people that are meant to be part of this will end up being part of this when all of this recalibrates. So that's where I'm going with this. Focus in on spirit, Sagittarius. Focus in on those subtle urges and have compassion with yourself as you do. And that focus is on what makes you happy. Be compassionate with yourself as you go through this disruption, and then know that this is a timing issue. And I want to offer it this way, Sagittarius, because we have our Scorpio new moon this week. I feel like there's also the potential of using the new moon, ushering in new energy, a new dynamic for the next 2 weeks, to have a conversation with your team and thank them for helping you anchor your focus. And as you anchor that focus, tell them, thank you for giving me experiences to further root it like a big tree in the ground. Have we been talking about roots in the ground? I think so. All right. Okay, what's full Teri? What did I do? I don't know. Okay. Well, Faith, I think that's cool. Whatever you're saying, I feel like I'm a full Teri. Nah, kind of like a full Monty, but not. Okay, on to Scorpio. It's your new moon. And this moon is the first moon in I don't know, it feels like 6 weeks to 2 months that is actually bringing in a softer energy. And I know we would say the moon is full. No, it's a new moon. Isn't it a new moon? Oh, don't tell me I screwed that up again. Is it a full moon? No, it's a new moon. Hold on, I'm going to look real quick. Sorry, I have to. Ah, I did it again. Damn it, I did it again. You got full moon. Oi, oi, oi. How do I do this? You know why? I'll tell you why I do this, to be honest with you, is because every full moon has an ending that begins a new something new, and every new moon has a new beginning, which means something ends. So I screwed up again. Oh well. I'm fabulously flawed, but I still stick to it, and I'll change the title when I get done, but still. Okay. I hate being fabulously flawed, though. It bugs me. Now I know I kept saying full. Okay, full, Teri. It's full. Got it. Thank you guys for having my back. Okay. So. Thank you, La Luna. I feel like a complete dork right now because this is the second time I've done that. And I just looked at it before we even started. Anyway, all right. La-di-da-di-da. Here we go. Scorpio. Rising sun, moon, and stelliums. It's still your moon. So there you go. Francesca is our first angel. The second is Maya. The third is Archangel Gabriel. And the final is Athena. I love that, Small Wildflowers. I'll go with the blonde moment, Stephen. Thank you very much. I'm not ready for the senior moment or the senior discount. Okay, here we go. Thank you, Angelique. All right, Scorpio. Joining Francesca is the owl. Joining Maya is the focus card. Joining Archangel Gabriel is the novice. And joining Athena is the frog. Well, this is actually really full moonish because what do you visualize right now? Negativity will block your progress. What does she say? What do you desire right now? Visualize it and it will come about. Negativity will block your progress. And then here we have the owl. The owl is all about one coin, two sides. Is this, the wisdom or the deception? Now, this is where I'm going with this for Scorpio, because what story do you want to tell yourself? Do you win or do you lose? Because both stories have a life. And now your job in some ways is to visualize the stories where you win, because in the opportunity or the obstacle is the focus card and Maya. And I feel like Maya is teaching you about your focus. And sometimes, Scorpio is ruled by Pluto, and Pluto is deep and intense and savory and rich. And sometimes when Scorpio is feeling the challenging aspects, the darker hues of that sign, it can feel debilitating. So Spirit's asking you, where is your focus? Because Archangel Gabriel is saying, give me your insecurities. And the Novice is about unstable new beginnings. This is about you starting to tell the story where you win, where you get what you want, where you succeed, where you are triumphant. Because here is Athena saying it's safe for you to lovingly assert yourself. And then there's the Frog, which is the cleaning of emotional baggage. And I want to say this because the cleaning of emotional baggage is not about releasing it out into some ether net like it never happened. I just don't believe it's possible to truly heal. There are I don't know, maybe there are some people that can just say, bygones, and God bless them. I wish I was one of them, but I am not. I'm somebody who, when I've been hurt repeatedly, I brace for it. And now this is giving me an opportunity to no longer brace. That's what I'm trying to say. So for my Scorpios, this is an opportunity during this full moon. God, I'm still so annoyed at myself for doing that. To look deeply at where you've clung on to stories that don't serve you anymore, stories that have expired, stories that may have been true at one point, but are they really true today? And to give yourself permission to start a new beginning. So here we go. And if you hear scratching, that's Lucky. He just pushed look at Lucky. He's being silly. He just knocked all my pillows off my couch. And now he's deciding to dig to China. And I said it was a new moon. Maybe this is why my brain is all kooky. Okay, it's a full moon. Here we go, on to Libra. I know, he's the cutest thing. I swear, I love that dog so much. And he talks. He literally talks. Last week, he started singing on The Masked Singer. He started to sing along, and luckily I had my camera out and I was able to get a little video of him, and I put it on Instagram. It was so funny. Okay, here we go. Susie. Oh. Okay, here we go. On to Libra. I'm going to make it fabulous, Thibaut. Here we go, because it's me, Libra. Okay. Our first angel is Sonia. The second is Ariel. The third is Archangel Uriel. And the final is Seraphina. Okay. Welcome, Sarana. So glad you could join us. Oh, beach vibes. If you have 5 planets in Libra, absolutely pay attention. This is a very strong influence for you. Okay. Joining Sonia is the Perception card. Alrighty. Joining Ariel is the Burden card. Joining Archangel Uriel is the Focus card. And joining Seraphina is the Bee card. Okay. For my Libras, rising sun, moon, and stelliums. Right now we have Sonia. Sonia will normally represent a deceased loved one coming in from heaven to say hello, hi, we're well. I don't think that's what it means right now. I think this is your personal guides, your team here asking you to reflect upon your perceptions. And are your perceptions really supporting your happiness? Because the bee energy for me is my being energy. And I want to say it this way because I feel there's the potential that Libra is revisiting something that may not be even in your personal experience right now. And I say that because as a Libra sun and as a result of this situation that we're going through, I've spent more time than usual alone. And in doing so, there's a part of me that has been thrown off, and it's made me go to the past. It's made me go into past hurts, and then I've had to pull myself and ask myself, where would I really want to stand? Because, and I'm telling you all this because Ariel is about spiritual experiences changing the way you view yourself and the world, and the burden card. And I think this is the challenging part of spirituality, where you take accountability for co-creating. And sometimes that co-creation is not because we are victims in a situation, is the way I wanted to use it. But sometimes we offer ourselves, when we're in out of body and in the soul's perspective, we offer ourselves to fall into situations with people, to offer them opportunities to show up. Because in the angel's advice is Archangel Uriel, that deals with unforgiveness, anger, frustration, and it's in direct relation to the burden card and Ariel. And here we have the focus card. So I want to offer it this way. My biological mother doesn't have a nurturing bone in her body. She is a narcissist with all capitals, okay? And as a child, I did not enjoy the experience. I left as quickly as possible. I left it when I was 14. And I still, to this day, at 60, there are certain things when I see a nurturing mom, I have a moment because I didn't have one. So my point is this. I think for Libra, this is an opportunity for me to look at my perceptions. What has Libra been holding on to? What has felt a little bit of a burden because you're co-creating? So this is where I want to go with this. As I got older, I started to think that my mom and I have had many past lives together. I think that potentially she was my slave owner in a past life because she beat the crap out of me, okay? And I'm not talking like just hit me with her hand. She would use weapons against me as a very small child. And as I've grown older, there was a long time I hated her. But then Spirit started to show my soul willing to incarnate in her life, to give her an opportunity to be a nurturing mother, to be more loving to something else than she was to herself. She never took the invitation in this lifetime. But for me, am I going to focus in on anger forever? Because it's just going to be a damn burden. So in order to be happy, which is what Serafina offers, then my job is to shift my perception. And in that way, this is where that reconciliation, this full moon, new moon, whatever moon, it is in Scorpio, offering us an opportunity to reconcile a situation so that we can then let it sit where it belongs and move on. That's what I want to say. I hope that made sense. I'm not angry at her anymore. I'm not at all. But do I know that she'll never change and that she's stuck and she's never been able to move past it? I think that's where my sadness might come in, is that, another lifetime without accomplishing it. So I have no parental unit. And so when I see others with strong parental family ties, it brings a melancholy within me, but that's okay. All right, on to Virgo. Okay. Angelique, I want to offer this, guys, because, the forgiveness dynamic for me, and again, Aries rising Taurus moon, it was super hard. I would go to these ceremonies and we'd be dancing around the fire and throwing the rocks and, acting like everybody felt free from all their issues. And I was always in there sitting and I felt like my issues were right here. And I could just flick them off. But when they became tools, Like now, and this is how I forgave my mom, was that she became part of Spirit's tools. And when I see some of the situations I had with her when I'm doing a reading, I can then relate that to my client. And my client will be like, oh my gosh, how do you know that? And I'll be like, well, I don't really know what's going on with you. I only know what I experienced. And they're using that to show me that you've experienced this. So I hope that makes sense. And so that's how forgiveness plays out for me. All right, here we go. On to our Virgos. Hi, Carly. Hi, Wayne. Good to see you. Sarah's Space, welcome. Okay. All right, Faye. Thank you for telling me it was a full moon and I was not paying attention. I just thought Teri was full of something. Took me a long time to get over wanting to be perfect. Okay, here we go. For our Virgos, rising sun, moon, and stelliums, we have Layla in the first position. We have Maya in the second, Celeste in the third, and Yvonne in the final. First position is a foundational position. Second is an opportunity and or obstacle. Third is the angel's advice for taking advantage of the opportunity or getting around the obstacle. And the final is the potential outcome. Okay, here we go. Okay. I did, Faith. I don't know. It might have gone by fast. Okay, here we go. Layla is being joined by the mystery card. Maya is being joined by the eagle. Celeste is being joined by the trust card. And Yvonne is being joined by the deer. Very interesting. Okay, so Virgo. Layla for me is always, yes, my moon wanted me to pay attention to this one. Virgo, the mystery card. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. Sorry. Okay. Layla is about spending time in nature, connecting with nature, because Spirit is using nature as a device for sending you messages. The mystery card is about choice. It's about free will. It's about the human having the opportunity to make the choices. It's why we go under the veil of unknowing. It's why we choose to come into this place so that we can make decisions and life choices that not only support our own version of what we want to experience, but what we want the legacy of others to experience of us. So my point is this for Virgo. It's time to sit in connection with Spirit so that you can make new choices. And these new choices for me, and this is the opportunity and or the obstacle, is Maya. This is a card of schooling and education. And this is about choosing what direction you want to go and knowing that you're being guided by Spirit. The eagle represents the connection to the angelic realm. And part of this is the combination of, it's almost like, I feel like it's like driving a clutch, because you have to have this balance between pulling out the clutch and putting on the gas and going back and forth. And that's kind of what you're doing with Spirit. The Virgo part of you is the part that puts the gas on. But if you don't get the clutch right, you're going to stutter, because I don't know if that's a weird analogy, but here is Celeste talking about a new place of employment or a new home, ushering in new energy. And there's the trust card. Now, for me, Celeste always represents how I think, because you can put me anywhere on the planet, move me into any job or any location, and I have a certain way of thinking. And I take my actions based on that thinking. So here, as I shift my thinking into trusting that Spirit knows my directives, because I have made a choice and connected with Spirit. And then now I am vulnerable to allowing, this isn't about fear anymore, Virgo. This is about gentleness and diplomacy as you walk through this vulnerable time. And the vulnerable time is making a choice and still having to walk part of the path, not having to. This is the place where you don't have the turn left here and go right here and go 5 miles and make a stop. This is where each part of the journey is asking you to make a decision, and the decision is to be, what do you want to experience? So I think that as you spend time being gentle with the knowing that these decisions are not always easy for you, but as you work in connection with spirit, they will become more, you'll trust them more. It's almost like, I don't know, you'll get into a rhythm, and that will help Virgo get out of your head a little bit. Okay. I want to acknowledge Wayne and say, I am so sorry, Wayne, that you lost your fur baby. Small Wildflowers lost her little Harley about a month ago. I didn't want to say anything on the broadcast till she did, but it is never easy to lose a four-legged baby because they are our most authentic little love bugs. So I'm really sorry for that. And I'm glad you were able to honor her or him. I'm sorry. I didn't catch you said her. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I'm going to share a little picture. I have to now. Hold on. Oh, stretch. This is my Emmett. I lost him. Actually, April 28th was the day he crossed over. So it's just a few days ago. But this is a picture of Emmett and me. He is the best cat, man. I swear this cat was very dog-like for a cat. He used to follow me around. He would talk to me. Loved him so much. He passed away in our home. I kept with him to the very end. All right. All right, Leo, here we go. We want to be here for you guys as tribe members, as we sit here together. I feel very warmed that you share your hurts with us and also your triumphs, because we want to be here to support you. Yes, I had a cat named Emmett, and if you add one more T, you spelled it perfectly, Susie. And I did not know Emmett means truth. Oh, I thought I was naming him after Emmett Smith. But I like that. All right, here we go. On to our Leos, rising sun, moon, and stelliums. Yes, oh my gosh, does he have the sweetest face? Look at that face. He's staring right into the camera. I have another cool picture too, where I got to go show you now. Hold on. Sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I just have to do it. Okay, Wayne, this is Emmett. Look at him. He's draped over my shoulder. He is the most loving little beast. So I know sometimes I'm annoying because I chat too much in between the readings, but oh well. Loved my Emmett so much. In fact, so much so that I can't even get another cat. Just me and the dog now. All right, on to Leo. Hey, Chaos Theory, great to see you. Welcome. I think Sarah Space, were you here before? Welcome. Good morning. Okay, I'm going to be expeditious and move myself along here. Whoa. Thank you, Shelley. Okay, and I'm going to have that Zoom thing pretty soon. I'm telling you, I was looking at it last night. I'm just going to wait for my American Express cycle to go through, and then I'm going to get it. So after the 22nd, I'll buy, or yeah. Okay, Leo. Our first angel is Archangel Michael. The second is Serena. The third is Vanessa. And the final is Athena. Hey, Mihak, welcome. I go through, I start at Pisces and work my way towards Aries, everybody. We go rising sun, moon, and stelliums. Oh, Grace, thank you. He was such a good boy. It's a miserable time when he passed. But I was so grateful that he was here and I could see him like the Lion King from beginning to end. Okay, here we go. I know I get yelled at sometimes, but then I kind of bark back at people because I tell them this is a live show. This is a community we're building here. This is not about just shooting videos and predictions. I want us all to be able to interact and enjoy each other's company and feel connected and get to know each other's. Oh, Wednesday. Yeah, we're going to have fun. Wednesday's going to be fun. I have a new little thing we're doing on Wednesdays. Okay, Leo. Archangel Michael's being joined by the water fairy. Serena's being joined by the novice. Vanessa's being joined by forgiveness. And Athena's being joined by the death card. Very interesting. Bye, Tebow. See you on Wednesday. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Prashant Patel. My name is Teri Hunter. I'm an angel therapy practitioner. And what I am doing right now is messages from the angels by astrological rising sign, moon, sun, and stelliums. So what we do is we're talking about the week ahead. What are the angels' advice for you? I start at Pisces and I work my way towards Aries. And I'm on Leo right now. Leo rising, sun, moon, and stelliums. So here is Archangel Michael. This is about having courage. It really is. And to follow your feelings, your intuitions, your emotions. Everything that we manifest and when we dig down is based on our emotions, because our emotions are the vibration with which we take our steps on. So this feels to me like Leo has concerns about resources right now, about money, because here's Serena, the angel of money, and we have the novice, unstable new beginnings, skill without practice. And given the dynamic that we're living in, many of you may be concerned about money, but also look at Serena. She is very calm, cool, and collected, and God is in charge of how the money and the resources will come. Part of it is your job is to be courageous in your belief and in your emotional body being unsure right now. It's a very unsure time. It's a very unstable time. And we're being pummeled with a lot of fear right now. So here we have in the angels' advice, we have Vanessa saying, are you going to make your decisions based on faith or fear? And then we have the forgiveness card. We spoke earlier about forgiveness. I really feel like forgiveness comes through the reconciliation of an experience. It's not about being able to forgive the person or the situation as much as it's about making sense of it. So as I can extract tools, as I can work with the situation, then I can put it in its proper place and it doesn't have to bang on me right and left. Because Leo, Athena is saying it's safe for you to lovingly assert yourself, and this is the death card. I don't think this is death. I think it's transformation into you really allowing yourself to be lovingly assertive in what you want. Over the last few weeks, I think, especially, I don't know, I want to say almost feels like 6 months, I've been feeling like Leo has been really not dumbing down, but sort of trying to curb your enthusiasm in some way so that you don't feel like, you're drowning out others. And I feel like it's the opposite in some ways. It's about having the courage to be who you are. And I want to say this too, because I do think there's something going on about resources, but it's more than that. It's about lovingly asserting yourself into a way of feeling and thinking that supports the material coming to you as you need it. Okay, so let's talk about Leo, fifth house. Fifth house represents romance. It represents children. It represents fun. What if Leo, in some ways, wants to do something in the work environment that's fun? And Spirit is saying, if you're enjoying yourself, here, money will come through this unstable new beginning, but part of it is going to come as you have faith in yourself. And that will bring a reconciliation, which will then empower you to move forward more often with this based on your emotions, based on your intuitions versus what's solid. Okay? All right. I think that made sense. Yes, the old ways are being transformed. And every time we go through these periods of history, there's a I don't know. Recently, Spirit has been showing me the Deep South during the Civil War, and there were so many people who were living their lives and tending to their farms and enjoying their lives while there was all this mayhem going on. And it's kind of the same thing. There's a part of us that has to be able to find joy in our lives in the midst of the mayhem. That's where I guess they're telling me. Okay, on to Cancer. Okay, what'd I miss? Oh, there's no timestamps just yet. We will have them later on this afternoon. Thank you for bringing that to our attention, Dex. It's a little challenging because Teri talks a lot. And she starts, and then she goes off, and then she starts something else. So here we go. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Sarah Space. Okay, going on to Cancer. Oh, Martina, sending tons of love to you. Hope everything is well in your part of the world. Yeah, I did Aquarius second, Wayne. I start with Pisces and work my way towards Aries. Okay, here we go. Cancer. Our first angel is Shanti. The second is Xana. The third is Estera. And the final is Francesca. All right. Shanti is being joined by the protection card. Xana is being joined by the perception card. Estera is being joined by the novice. And Francesca is being joined by the B card. This is very interesting because Shanti represents peace, represents tranquility, a smoother road ahead. And this Scorpio full moon, now that I got that right, is about a more a forgiving energy, a healing energy, a compassionate energy. And I feel like for my Cancers, Shanti is offering peace and there is protection being offered. And I want to offer it this way. I don't think this is about physical protection. I don't think it's about your physical body. I think it's about your emotional body. I felt for Cancers for quite some time that this sadness underneath it all, that there's something going on in your intimate circles, the people you consider family, whether they're DNA or not, that there's something shifting in that. And there's been a worry on. So Shanti says that as you allow for whatever is disrupting your peace to move out, know that you are protected, because Xana is also an angel of protection. And there's the perception card. And I want to say it this way because I feel like Cancer, the perception may be that you if you don't provide a certain value or a certain role within this intimate circle, that you would not be welcomed, not be wanted, not be loved the same. And I don't think that's necessarily true. And that's why you're getting protection twice. And I think this protection is allowing you, the angels are saying, to reach for the stars with your dreams and your desires. And here's an unstable new beginning in your perceptions. I really feel like Cancer has been, you're obviously on the eclipse axis. That may have something to do. The nodes have been in your sign and they're moving out. So there may be, in combination with this moon this week, this opportunity for you to really see where have things been disrupting my peace? Where has it been coming from my own perceptions? Because I'm holding on to the idea that if I don't do this for you, you won't love me, or you won't value me, or you won't be there for me. Because Francesca in the final position is saying, what do you visualize right now? It will come about Negativity will block your progress. And the B is about victory. It's about sweet victory. It's about luck. It's about being industrious. It's my being energy. So we go back to the first position, which is in the foundational position. You're being protected as you allow whatever doesn't serve your peace of mind to move out. And I think that this is about Cancer realizing that you're loved beyond what you provide in the way of your role, your material service to others, that just because you exist, you are valuable and you are lovable and you are revered. That's how I want to put it. Oh, Martina, wow, people are protesting. Yeah, we've got some people protesting, wanting to come down to the beaches. We had a protest here yesterday. A bunch of people down on the beach. I don't know. I stayed away from all of it. I'm staying out of the out of it. Faith says, I think Taurus moon says sorry more than a Taurus sun. And I feel like Scorpio completion full moon is going to address that. Taurus has never been taught her worth. Just my humble opinion. I'm a Taurus moon. So on some level, it's interesting. I don't know. Taurus moon is going through, Uranus is going through Taurus. So that it's an interesting dynamic, because I feel like there's something about that Uranian energy that's going to liberate me from whatever emotional things that my Taurus moon is hanging on to. So for me, well, I've never noticed whether the sun or the moon apologizes more. I'm more kind of invested in how I show up for myself, because sometimes when I get super intentional, and especially when spirit is giving me a hit and somebody's on the other end going, no, 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 no. And I'm like, yeah, 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 yeah. No, 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 no. Yeah, 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 yeah. And I can get super stubborn in that spot. Good news, bad news. All right, here we go. On to our Geminis. Wayne, I want to offer this to you. Your sentence, please release me, let me go. And the idea that your cat passed away today or yesterday, that kind of speaks to me about allowing yourself to emote. Maybe you need a good, hard cry. Maybe you need to get mad, or, go, for a run or something, to allow your emotions to actually come out of your physical body. I've learned in my history, sometimes when the timing of when one of my animals passes has been really interesting, that it allows me to emote something that I had been holding on to underneath. So we know that Pluto went retrograde last week. We know that we have this full moon, which is about endings and new beginnings. So maybe there's something here for you to be able to reconcile within your mind. And maybe part of it is that you're allowed to be sad. You're allowed to feel. Yes, Wayne, to allow yourself to feel. Exactly. Okay, so let's go on to our Geminis. Thank you, Stephen. I appreciate that. When I talk about talking too much, I'm not worried about you guys in the chat. I worry about the people that are watching the video and they're like, "Arr." Okay. Gemini, rising sun, moon, and stelliums. Our first angel is Akasha. The second is Ray. The third is Archangel Raphael. And the final is Celeste. Oh, that sounds beautiful, CJD. Like Morris the cat. Cats are such interesting energies. They choose to love us. It's quite a privilege. Emmett he would sleep on my bed, and he used to love to push on my nose. He would just rub himself all over my face. Ooh, Emma, that's going to be fun. You'll have to keep us posted, see what exciting things happen. All right, here we go. Welcome, Wavy Baby. Okay, Akasha is being joined by the Fear card, Gemini. Ray is being joined by the Letting Go card. Archangel Raphael is being joined by the Queen. And Celeste is being joined by the Truth card. Wow, this is pretty cool. Okay, Akasha is the spiritual teacher card. And I really don't think that Gemini is a spiritual teacher. What I do think is that you're being taught something about your fears. I think that this full moon is an opportunity for you to start to really look at, and I'm going to go to the final position, what is the truth? And we've talked many times about how Celeste will talk about a new home or a new place of employment. But for me, it's a way I'm thinking, because you can put my body anywhere. You can give me any sort of home, any sort of job. I think a certain way. So I think that this is about Gemini being taught that their fears oftentimes are projections into the future, and not necessarily the truth, but rather false evidence appearing real because you're sitting in the unknown or in an in-between space. Because Gemini, here's our letting go card. I don't talk about letting go. I talk about let it go. Like the movie Frozen. It's funny how some distance makes everything look small, and the fears that once controlled me can't get to me at all. They can't get to me because I'm connected to spirit. My power chakra comes through my connection to spirit. And then I talk to myself through my heart chakra. Okay, here we go. Time to jettison people who are... Thank you. Jettison that person out of the room. Thanks. Okay. So this is really, Gemini, an opportunity to stop going back and forth. Stop feeling that sort of push, pull, push, pull. I say that because Archangel Raphael is offering you a healing as you sit in receptive energy. The Queen is not about femininity in the sense of woman versus man, as much as it's about reception. It's about being fertile in receiving the things that you need. So for Gemini, I believe that this period of time and this full moon in Scorpio ruled by Pluto ruling what's underneath, what I'm not paying attention to, or what's been festering underneath. And now I get an opportunity to learn about fear as I stand in my truth and give myself permission to shift. And that shift is to rewrite, let it go. No, how does the song go? It's time for me to see what I can do to test the limits, to break through. No right, no wrong, no rules for me. That's what you're learning in connection to spirit. And in doing so, Archangel Raphael offers a healing in what you receive and knowing that you sit calmly in that reception. I feel like this is kind of a good opportunity for you. It's an opportunity to quit going back and forth. And maybe part of it has something to do with the North Node moving into Gemini. Maybe some of that will give you I know the North Node represents voracious, this hunger. But I think that each aspect of the planets, the nodes, the stars, the asteroids, they have their hues, both to the higher and lower vibrations. So anyway, all right, let's go on to our Taurus. Thank you, small wildflowers. Is this a little bit, some people just don't have enough to do. So they go to that place. Okay. On to our Taurus. Taurus, rising sun, moon, and stelliums. Okay, and while I'm shuffling, a couple things I want to tell you. I have this cool bracelet on today, and I don't know if you guys I wore it before, but I'm going to tell you again. It's kind of fun. This is a solar system bracelet. So it starts off with the sun, and then I believe this is Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars. Whoops, where's it going? I got it mixed up. Anyway, this gal B makes them, and it's called Astrono Beads. Oh boy. There we go. Oops. Oh, man. Anyway, it's so cute. I just twisted it up. But I love the little Saturn on there. And look, you can see the Earth. And look, we have Neptune, how pretty Neptune is. I think it's such a cool little bracelet. It even has this little point in the middle of the galaxy where this tiger's eye. I can't remember what she told me it is. But anyway, so cute. So it's Astrono Beads, if you're interested in looking into her stuff. Okay, on to Taurus. Wow, Stephen. Sometimes when we're starting a whole new chapter, the babies that were part of our previous chapter cross over. It's so interesting. It's just, yeah. Astrono Beads, thank you. Thank you, smallwildflowers.com, I believe it is. Okay. And I want to say this too. I don't know. Okay, so I'm going to totally interrupt myself since we're talking about fur babies crossing over. Wayne, I'm going to tell you a little story. John Edward is a famous medium, and he had a dog, Bichon, for 19 years. Her name was Jolie. Bichons are all white. They kind of look like poodles, but they're all white. He kept dreaming about Jolie, and she kept saying, I'm coming back. I'm reincarnating. Look for the dog with the black spot. So about a couple days after he had this dream, he's in a restaurant and he's having lunch, and the original breeder of Jolie walks into the restaurant. So he says hello, and she says, I happen to have some puppies. So he goes and looks at the puppies, and one gravitates towards him, and no black spot. He leaves. He's like, I don't know. A couple days later, he goes back with his wife. The same dog comes crawling up on him. He's still unsure. They leave, and they don't take the dog. They get to a restaurant. They decide to have dinner. And she says, that dog really, really is into you, really likes you. She goes, I took the cutest picture of you. She turns and she shows him the picture of the dog, and her phone screen is cracked, and the dog has a black spot on his back. Yeah, they went back and got the dog. So I say that because Wayne, maybe your kitty will reincarnate if you put out an invitation for her to come back, and she'll do so in the perfect timing. And I do believe that our animals will do that with us. So that's my John Edward story for today, going on to Taurus, and then we'll wrap this little thing up. Okay. First angel for Taurus is Opal. The second is Xana. The third is Azure. And the final is Caressa. Oh, Miss Rissa. Yeah, I most of my animals have lived to be, in fact, almost all of them have lived to be 17 years old or older. That makes me so happy. So I really believe they are our earth angels. Welcome, Sammy's mom, Sammy. Happy Sunday to you too. Oh, so you have that nice memory, Stephen, that you were being able to be consoled. Okay, here we go. Taurus, rising sun, moon, and stelliums. Opal's being joined by the wealth card. Xana's being joined by the earth fairy. Azure's being joined by the Grail Knight, and Caressa is being joined by the Owl. Okay, so Opal says that your children on heaven and earth are safe and well cared for by God. And then there is the wealth card. This particular wealth card for me is not about money. It's about harmonious wealth. It's where I feel like I'm thriving, and I'm feeling like I'm excelling in all of the areas of my body, or at least most of them. My intimate body, my financial body, my mental body, my emotional body, my spiritual body, all of these things. And I feel like this is what's being offered for Taurus, okay? Taurus' second house represents wealth, represents possessions, represents our self-worth. And I feel like this is about your dreams. I feel like this is about harmonious wealth, and that in many respects, the world has been put on pause, but our dreams have not been. The pause may feel like our dreams have been jettisoned out, or that our dreams are I don't know, I almost feel like a big wet blanket. Okay. And I guess what I'm trying to say is that Caressa is saying we're at the end of a life cycle. This is in the final position. And there is the owl. And the owl is really asking us to check between I feel like this is about the old and the new. This is not about deception and wisdom. It's about the revision that we're going through. And I feel like you're being protected, Taurus, through this revision. This is the opportunity and or the obstacle because we're creating a new foundation. We're creating a new platform. And part of that is now based on what you want, Taurus. This is not about romance. This is about seeking the sacred. This is about the Grail Knight will represent romance. It also represents illusion and seeking the sacred. But to me, this is Lancelot bowing down to Excalibur, the sword of truth. And here's Azure saying, you're flying high right now. Don't descend. Because have patience and faith, because what you're wanting is coming about. But part of it is coming as we're rewriting this new platform with which we're walking on. Okay. So for my Tauruses, there's an opportunity to feel more harmony as I, in some ways, surrendered this transitional period to God and the angels. And at the same time, I'm willing to stand with intention as to what I want to experience in this time, how I want this transformation to look. How do I want to move forward? It's not about the how of the steps to do it. It's more about the emotional body. So, because, when I think about Taurus ruling second house, Taurus wanting to have a sense of security as well, Taurus enjoying the fruits of this earthly plane. You're being robbed of your restaurants, of your shopping experiences, all those Venusian things. And I feel like part of this journey right now is to know that those things will come back into play. Your dreams will still come true, but they will do it in a revised version. And I also want to say this too, because the Earth Fairy represents physical health. And so we have Xana here. So many of you who may be feeling vulnerable to the physical dynamic right now, you are being protected. And part of your job is to stand in alignment with that idea. Okay? All right. So, and it's not about being foolhardy and putting yourself in a vulnerable situation, but it's not about standing over fear either. Okay, here we go. Our final sign, Aries. We've had a lot of our four-legged loved ones crossing over. I've noticed since we went through this, it feels like since the beginning of the year, almost every week we've had somebody in the chat say that they've lost one of their little four-legged babies. And luckily, I think most of them have been older and had good lives. But again, it's never easy. So thank you, Martina. That is so sweet of you. All right, here we go. Aries, rising sun, moon, and stelliums. Oh, and I want to just say this before I go on. First of all, unabashed plug. If you want to get a reading from me, you can go to Lotta's website. I'm under the readers menu. But on Wednesday, you guys, we're going to do something super fun. We did it last week. It was something new, and we've been playing with this new deck, and you guys are going to interact. So and I'm hoping to move it onto Zoom so we can get some of you on camera and we can play with this new deck and build our intuition and build our spiritual communication muscles. Okay, here we go. Wednesdays is at 11 a.m. Pacific. I try to keep it consistent so that, so that even I can remember, because God knows I can't remember if it's a full moon or a new moon. All right, I'm finally self-forgiveness. Fabulously flawed. Hey, Kikiva, welcome. Okay, here we go. Final sign, Aries, rising sun, moon, and stelliums. Our first angel is Ariel. The second is Francesca. The third is Layla. And the final is Mystique. We'll be getting some timestamps. Wednesday, there's no readings, so we don't do timestamps on that one, but we'll get them on later. It's not an easy task doing timestamps for me. Okay. Aries. Who is joining Ariel today? Have a good day, Angelique. Ariel's being joined by the Focus card. Francesca's being joined by the Cat. Layla's being joined by the Birth and the Rebirth card. And Mystique is being joined by the Raven. Okay. So y'all know I'm a Aries rising, and I'm in Vedic. I'm a double Aries. My moon is in Aries as well. So I got a lot of Aries energy. And I have to tell you, this is so beautiful. Ariel says that as you experience spirit, as you connect with various dynamics of your connection with spirit, it's changing the way you view yourself and the world at large. And here's the Focus card. And I want to say it this way because David Cochran said months ago, he kind of gave an evolutionary spin on Aries. And Aries, he called Aries the truth seeker. Rather than being just the blunt person who comes in the room and lobs your head off because, they think they don't like you for some reason. That's not how he perceived it. It was more like Aries could smell something underneath. And when they smelled something that was not authentic, then they would take action. I totally resonated with that. So I feel like for Aries, as you focus on your connection with spirit, Francesca says, what do you desire right now? It will come about. Negativity will block your progress. And here is the Cat. Interesting, Wayne. The Cat is here. This is 9 lives. That's what I absolutely believe. I don't think it's about healthy boundaries right now. I don't think it's about independence. I think it's about 9 lives. And as we visualize getting that, refocusing our lives, because here we have the Birth and the Rebirth card, a new life, and Layla. That's, again, a connection with spirit. The difference here is that Layla uses animals in nature to give us signs and omens. So as we see various animals, we look at what are the characteristics of that animal. What's its natural habitat? What are its natural habits? Is it a nocturnal animal? Is it a daytime animal, etc.? Because for Aries, Mystique is saying to keep charging ahead, expect miraculous solutions. This is a process card. This is a card that says, you're not out of the dark yet, but you're coming into the light. And that happens as a result of your focus and your willingness to connect with spirit, because spirit is saying certain things have to shift. There's a timing issue that's going on here. And as a result of that, there is a new birth being offered. There's the skull. So I want to say this. So you guys all know, from most, except for the newbies, I'm 60 years old. I turned 60 in October. And since I was 17 years old, I have been playing with the tarot. Well, even before that, when I was in grammar school, my grandma did astrology. So I may not have dabbled in astrology, but I used to hear about it all the time from her. And then my own interest started to grow. And every time I pondered a career, it was like all I wanted to do was teach people what I had learned about spirituality. And, that started with me doing readings and such. And it wasn't until Yelp was invented, a timing issue, that I was able to move forward. And that's when miraculous solutions started to appear. So what are we in right now? We're in a huge recalibration. We're in a huge, it's like the universe put us in a timeout and said, I want you to think about what you're doing. Are you really happy with how you're showing up for yourself? Are you being authentic, or are you running to that job every day and just working your ass off for the weekend? Because the weekend isn't enough anymore. So, Aries, as you connect with spirit and you focus in on the messages that you're being given by spirit to follow your authentic truth, and then you give life to a new life, the 9 lives, the rebirth through the connection of spirit, and knowing that it is a timing issue. And the timing is this year, we're going to go through lots of stuff. We're going to go through retrogrades that are challenging. Pluto is not to be played with. Saturn is not to be trifled with, and a whole host of other dynamics coming into play. But my point is this: we don't resist those energies. We use their higher vibrations. And in using their higher vibrations, we are able to move towards a more authentic spot, which then spirit can support. And as spirit supports it, it's because spirit is saying, it's not that spirit goes, oh, you have a great dream, let me support you. It's more about, I don't care what your dream is, but you're dreaming. And that's the gift you have to give to everybody else. So as you stay in the dreaming energy, in the yes, anything is possible as long as I focus and I go to the deep levels of how does this really feel for me? Am I excited about this, or do I have trepidation about it? Or do I straight up not believe this can even happen? Because as we look to those deep beliefs, that's where we know what we're truly manifesting on. So I think for this full moon, there's an opportunity to feel that reconciliation of understanding why we've walked through this jagged road, why we might still be walking on it. And then as an expectation of allowing ourselves permission to say, it may be rocky now, but it may be leading, Bless the Broken Road by Rascal Flatts. So that's where I'm going with that. Okay, guys, that's it for this week. For our readings, we'll be back on Wednesday at 11 a.m. Pacific, where we're going to play a little bit with our new deck and build our intuitions and interact so much. So I want to thank you all for being here today and sending lots of love out to you. And stay sane while you're social distancing. Namaste, everybody. Peace.